Dr. Babasaheb Ambedkar Open University.
Hello, my dear friends and students, to Dr. Babasaheb Ambedkar Open University, Ahmedabad, in Chaitanya Studio of Dr. Babasaheb Ambedkar Open University, Ahmedabad. In the video lecture series of the course called Post Graduation Diploma in Business Administration, in the subject called Accounting for Managers, Block 1, Unit 1, Basics of Accounting. Before we start this subject, before we start to learn this subject in efficient manner, we have to discuss what are there the learning objectives. So my dear friends, here are the few learning objectives to learn these subjects. First is the importance of need, origin and function of accounting. Then my dear friends, the information of the users of accounting, then the types of account and the golden rule of accounting. As you know, there are the three main accounts and there are the golden rule regarding the accounting. So you have to learn this in an efficient manner, and these are the objective of this particular subject. Now moving to the introduction point, or we can say the origin and the growth of the accounting. So many people have the opinion that the accounting has been developed in the recent year. But from the Purans, we can say that over the Vedas, the Chitragupta maintained the accounts for the we can say the quality and the vices. In olden days, if we see the kingdom, in a kingdom there was a financial minister who used to look after the financial matters like cash transaction, tax payable by people to king, etc. If we come to know about this chapter, the business of keeping of accounts in the office of the accounts, from the book named Arth Sastra written by the Kautilya, or we can say the Guru Chanakya, that the ministry of the king of the Chandragupta. And it becomes clear that the accountancy was practiced in India 23rd century back. And however, the current structure of accounting is based on the principles of the double entry bookkeeping, or we can say the double entry system, owes its cause to the Luca Pacioli. So we can found that the Luca Pacioli describe the double entry bookkeeping system. And when the Luca Pacioli is the Franciscan, the monk who that the first published the principle of the double entry system book in 1994 in the Italy, and the work was translated and published in English by the H.O. Castell in 1543, and in 1553 the James Pools published his work on how to keep a perfect account of debtors and creditors. So here we can say that, my dear friends, in India the accountancy is a very deep and a very old subject, where we can say in the mythological way, the Vedas and Purans and other way, also they keeping the records like Chitragupta, that's defining or maintaining the records of a person of well-being in nature and do their work, and there's a positive way, negative way, all these things. And after that, moving forward, where the Chandragupta periods was there, at that point of time, my dear friends, the Guru Chanakya, called Kautilya, also in the book of Arthashastra, they given the few definitions and the few concepts of the accounting, so why they maintain the accounts in a nature. Then after the various other publication, the most important publication was the Edward Jones in 1795, who innovate the concept of two-column journal. So my dear friends, you know about that what is journal, as you studied in a 12th standard, 11th standard of the commerce stream, that you know the what is the journal. So ultimately there are the two-column journals are there, and this was the followed by the many other innovations also, which were introduced later from time to time. And the present system of accounting occupies a vital position in today's business. With the help of accounting manager or owner can take the countless important decision and make the right decision at a right time, which is the key to success, my dear friends. The owners can know whether they have made the profitable investment, yes or no. At that point of time, you maintain your account in precise manner. At that point of time, you make a decision for the future also. Or we can say that the cost accountant can also know the control of cost of production over there. By the reducing cost, the controlling the cost, the profitability excess, and at that point of time, your business profitability and your business position will be the upward in the phase. Then the government can also get the date of the tax and the license purpose, and therefore the accounts will provide the information to every person regarding the particular concern. So my dear friends, the accounting is a very keen and a very deep thought about that, and the accounting is very old in nature for the India. Now moving forward to the introduction point of the accounting. In today's challenging environment, the finance and accounting have assumed the prime importance. The accounting is not merely a calculating of a debit or a credit or a narration of the profit and loss of the organization, and it is much more than that. In any business undertaking, the correct analysis of financial statement are crucial to successful decision making. So now there is a one question that, sir, what is financial statement? In financial statement, which accounts are prepared? So my dear friends, in financial statement there are mainly three aspects over there. There is a first is profit and loss statement, balance sheet, and the cash flow statement. So these are the key analysis of the financial statement, and this is only possible if the accounts are crucial to success and accounts are maintainable properly in a nature and verified it in appropriate manner. At that point of time, you can say that your account is accurate, so you can prepare your final accounts, or we can say the financial statement over there, and according to that financial statement you may go for the decision making approach. So my dear friends, you have to deal the accounting is a very first step, and in the very appropriate manner. There is a no loopholes are in there. So the main objective of accounting is to ascertain the profit or loss during a specific period and to determine financial position of the business enterprises on the particular date. And for that, my dear friends, you have to know about what are the accounting and what is accounting and what are the activities included in the accounting. So let's start the discussion of accounting includes which activities. First activity is that, my dear friends, recording of the business transaction either in the journal or subsidiary book. So here I can say that the recording and classifying and the summarizing and the prepare the final account, this four aspects is very important in what, my dear friends, accounting. You have to record it, you have to classify it, and you have to summarize it, and you have to prepare a final accounts over there. So these four activities play an important role while you are dealing with this subject of accounting. So first is, my dear friend, the recording of the business transaction either in a journal or in a subsidiary book. Then classifying the business transaction by posting them into the ledger accounts. Then the closing that ledger account and preparation of summary of all the ledger accounts. and then prepare the final accounts. It includes, my dear friend, trading account, profit and loss account, and balance sheet. So ultimately, this journey starts from where, my dear friends? Journal to final accounts. You have to prepare firstly journal, then subsidiary account, then it's posting into ledger, then carry forward that ledger's balance and summarize that ledger balance into the trial balance. And according to that trial balance, you have to prepare what, my dear friends? The trading account, profit and loss account, and balance sheet. So this is what, dear my friends, this is a journey of the accounting. So it ultimately keeps that the record also, classifying also, summarizing also, and the prepare of final accounts also. So these activities are included, my dear friends, in the accounting system. Then, during the 19th century, the volume of transaction of all business houses increased to the great extent, and it became clear that the journal was inadequate as a sole book of the original entry. In order to save the time, efforts, and avoid the inconvenience of classifying transaction for the posting purpose, similar type of transactions are recorded in a special journals called, we can say that it in a subsidiary book. Then this would facilitate not only the division of journal, but it would also make the easier the job of the posting in the ledger, as posting are done in the form of the total being transaction of similar nature. And for that, my dear friends, various subsidiary books like cash book, sales book, purchase book, sale return, purchase return book, bills receivable books, bills payable books, journal proper, etc. So these are included in what, my dear friends? In subsidiary book. So ultimately, it's clear and cut defined that the accounting system is not relevant with the only one aspect, but this is the process where the accounting is done. So my dear friends, if someone is asked you that what are that process of accounting system, or what type of activities are included in the accounting system or in accounting, so you can justify it in easy manner that the first is the recording, second is classifying, third is what, my dear friends? Tell me, third aspect of accounting, third activity. First is recording, second is classifying, third is summarizing, and fourth is what, my dear friends? Ultimately, you're preparing the final account. And the final account include what? A trading account, profit and loss account, and balance sheet. So these are what about the introduction point of the accounting. Now let's move to the needs of the accounting. So accounting is an often called the language of a business, and the language serves as a mean of communication. So similarly, accounting is one of the mean of the communicating the information regarding the results of business operation to interested party in the business, and like a proprietor, creditor, government, and other agencies. In order to provide the correct information, it is necessary for the business organization to record its transaction in clear and systematic manner, or we can say in an appropriate manner. So thus, my dear friends, for providing the information to the other, it's required that you have to prepare your accounting in a very keen manner, in a systematic manner, in appropriate manner, which gives an particular information at appropriate time with the particular users. So a clear and systematic record will serve the twin purpose. First purpose is like that, to ascertain of the transaction of the business, to determine profit or loss made during any accounting period. Then show cause of the impact of business transaction on the next worth of the business unit, that is financial position of the business in terms of asset and liability of the business as a whole. So these two purposes are the clearly defined, that the purpose of what, my dear friends? The clear and systematical record. So it may be asked in your exam, or it is more important in your life also, that which are the purposes for defining a clear and systematic report, or we can say the records are served to be there. So this is what, my dear friends, the needs for the accounting. Then, since the resources are scarce, very scarce actually, the resources are very scarce in the nature, and the in the economics you studied over there, the what are the resources and what are the implementation of that resources according to the Robinson's definitions. So in accounting, I just we can say that I just combine it together. Then, since the resources are scarce, it is a wiser to check the regularly what has happened to our resources, whether there has been any generation of income, or we can say the squeezing of or we can say the shrinking of resources, whatever. So ultimately it's what, my dear friend, the resources are very scarce, and it is primarily important and it considered as and the indispensable to the tools and the measuring the operating efficiency of any profit making or non profit making entity. So ultimately, my dear friend, when the resources are very scarce at that point of time, you aware about it and you have to take a step accordingly. So thus we can say that the accounting system is also in appropriate manner that it justify and it the defining that what are their limitations over there and what are their advantages over there and what are the systematic and the clean record served to be serves for the particular informations over there. So now moving forward, the definition of accounting. So here just I define that what is the accounting system over there. If we require that the accounting information, then it will be defined in a two aspects. First is the entry screens and second is reports. If we are talking about that in the report, so then the day book or journals are there, then going to the ledger, then going to the trial balance, then going to the trading and P&L account, and then prepare a balance sheet. So these are the process also, and these are the report system also over there. First is you have to maintain the day book, that is a bookkeeping ultimately. Second is you have to prepare a journal over there and the subsidiary book over there. Then you go posting into the ledger, then ledger to trial balance. The trial balance goes to the trading account, profit and loss, and balance sheet account. Then moving to the second side of this, that is a entry screen, that is a account head creation, and then receipts of the voucher, payment of voucher, receipts, journal, and checks. These are the what, my dear friends, entries. So ultimately according to that you define that what are that particular transaction over there. So ultimately you keep your record and or maintain your record in a systematic way. So this is what, my dear friends, the accounting system tells about that in a two aspects there, that is a report system and other is a entry screen system. So kindly refer it once because it is a very important chart for the defining the definition of accounting. Now let's move to the other, that the over a period the concept of accounting and the role of accountants have undergone a revolutionary changes, and there are the no unanimity of opinion regarding the prices of the definition of accounting, that the precises of the definition of accounting. Then the different authority have given the different definition. However, the central idea of all definition has been the same almost, except the fact of that their emphasis has been shifting from one aspect to another aspect. So while you defining the accounting, so it is ultimately in a systematic way, it is a very clear and cut definition over there. During the year 1941, the American Institute, the certified public accountant, has explained the accounting as an art of what, my dear friends, the art of recording, which will classifying and detail about the significant manner which in the term of money, transaction and event, and that could be the part having the minimum financial character along with the result calculation. So here what, my dear friends, I concluded that the definition is given in 1941 by the American CPA, that is American Institute of Certified Public Accountant, and it's a deal with this three aspect, that the first is in monetary terms, then going into that transaction and that event, and when these three are occurred at that point of time, what my dear friends you have to do, that the recording also, the classification also, then the summarizing also, and then prepare into the financial character, that is your final accounts. At that point of time you define that what my dear friends, your accountancy. So what we learn in the accounting activity is clearly justified here by this definition also, that the recording, classifying, summarizing and prepare a final account. Am I clear? Yes or no, my dear friends? Kindly refer this one definition because it is also the important in nature. Then the further it was noted that the American Accounting Association written and explain about the accounting as a journalized, or we can say the generation, or we can say the generalized of the procedure to finding and the calculating with the use of communication that relate to the economic information. Definitely my dear friends, the economic information ultimately in a monetary terms only, so terms monetary also included in it by default in impliedly, and which will allow the informed judgment along with the decision as per the user detail. So it is ultimately defining that what are the economic information are there, or what are the monetary transaction over there, and the transaction and event are recorded into the financial statements, or we can say in the final account, which is also the for the decision purpose, or for making a decision for the user in a detail, is also an important aspect while you defining the accounting in appropriate manner. So this is what my dear friends is the ultimate importance of the defining of the accounting system, or we can say the accounting. Now let's move to the functions of accounting. The Accounting Principle Board of the AICPA, that is American Institute of Certified Public Accountant, during their 1970s detail about the various applications and the function that appear into the accounting, which could be the first of the function of the accounting is per the quantitative information, which is mainly financial in a nature. So ultimately the first function is defining that the quantitative information which will the give, and which is the mainly defining what my dear friend financial in a nature, and it deals with the economic entries over there, and that are the required to be any use in the taking and preparing the economic decision, or we can say the future decision for the making a business purpose also. And the further the accounting manipulation, or as defined the procedure in which the recording, classifying, summarizing, analyze, interpreting the financial transaction as per the communication which result to the certain interested person. So ultimately here the what are that particular activities of accounting there, which is mainly regarding to the functions of accounting here. So ultimately you have to summarize that, my dear friend. For the accounting manipulates, it define the procedure for what, for the evaluation, that manipulation in the account. You have to keep your record in a clean and systematic manner. For the purpose of that define, you have to deal with this aspect, that is recording, classifying, summarizing, analyze, interpreting that financial transaction to communicate with the users also. They are the internal user as well as the external users. So these all are what my dear friend functioning of accounting, which related what's deal, and it's deal with your accounting activities, my dear friends. Next, as if defining this the function of accounting in a systematic manner. So first point is that, my dear friends, to maintaining systematical record for evaluation, or for defining, or for keep the one departmental decision, the one aspect, that at that point of time, my dear friends, you have to keep your record in what the systematic manner. That means you have to follow the system of accounting to define it. So it is the preliminary function of accounting to the keep proper record of transaction and events that take place in the chronological order, and these orders provide a base analysis and decision making. It consists of recording in a original subsidiary book of entry, posting of the ledger, preparation and trial balance of the final accounts. Then second aspect, the second function is that the meeting the legal requirements. Under this provision of law, the businessman has to file the various statement like income tax return, return on the sales tax purpose, or we can say the GST purpose also in today's era. The accounting system aims at a fulfillment of what, my dear friends, requirement of the law, and accounting is a base with the help to which the various return document statement etc are prepared. So if your accounting is not appropriate at that point of time, it ultimately suffers what, my dear friends, the legislative way also, the legal way also. So you have to maintain or meeting the legal requirements in a systematic manner. Then protecting and safeguarding the business asset. Then the record serves as the evidence in the case of the any clash regarding the ownership title or the any property or the asset business which are the important for the business, and you have to protect or the safeguard that business asset in appropriate manner while dealing with what, my dear friends, in accounting system to prepare accounting in appropriate manner. So this is what, my dear friend, the function of accounting. The further discussion about the function of accounting, it is also that facilitate the rational decision making. So ultimately it's derived and defined that your decision making system is also important, and after making that your communication and the reporting is also important. So while we defining that accounting system, that is entry screen and reports, so these are the main system which are the mainly dealing with your functions also. So facilitate the rational decision making, that the accounting helps in the making and correct decision or decision process, that managerial decisions are taken on the basis of facts and figures. So ultimately what, my dear friends, it's take the proper decision if your accounting structure or accounting system is appropriate. Then it's communicate and the reports, it has to be the communicate in the best language of the business as applied in accounting, that communicated on the basis of your transaction. And there are many parties such as a owner, creditor, government, employees etc who are interested in knowing the result of a firm. Then accounting communicates the result of interested party, and thus the accountant prepare the report on the basis of what accounting information to show the financial position of the firm for that particular interested parties. Thus the accounting shows, my dear friend, the true and fair view of the financial position of the firm, and for that the accounting system is a very important and clear and systematically maintainable in a nature. Now moving to the users of accounting information. There are the mainly defining in a two way, that is a financial accounting and second is management accounting or managerial accounting. While dealing with the financial accounting, there are the external users of accounting information, and while you are dealing with the managerial accounting, then the internal users of accounting informations are there. In accounting informations, or we can say in the internal user, there are the two aspects over there and the 2 points over there for the making an internal users. There is a management and another is a employees. And in an external department or in external user, there is an investor, creditor, customer and taxing authority, or we can say the government also. So these are what my users of that accounting system. So accounting information is of prime importance to its interested party to understand the financial position of the firm and for the future aspect also. So in that, in external user, first is what, my dear friend, creditor, and second is investor. The creditors, the people who have extended the credit of the company, are termed as a creditor, and these are the ardent to know the financial position of a firm to determine whether the enterprise will be able to meet its obligation in a time or not. So the creditors are also the user of that accounting system or for the accounting. Then the investor, an individual who puts his money in any business with the aim of making more money. The investors, before making investment, consider that the three important factors, that is the safety of his principal amount, rate of return on his investment, and in form of the dividend or interest, and the regular and consideration the rate of return. So whether these three aspects are fulfilled it in into defining that accounting system or not, yes or not. So this is what, my dear friends, the investors also the key, playing a key role for the in the external user of that financial accounting. And for making an investment decision, the accounting system is also important for the investors also. Then the government is not an interested in making the money or investment, but they are corrected they are the concern with that accounting system or accounting information of the company for the purpose of the taxation. And that taxation, the labor and corporate laws, and these all are maintainable, and this is important for the revenue generation of the government also, and for the development of the country also. So government is, my dear friend, an external user which is play an important role while defining the economic in a well structured way. Then the bankers, the bank and the financial institutions are the who lends the money to the business, want to know the financial stability and that the health of that particular business unit and the position of that business unit, that they recover that money from them or not. So ultimately the bankers are also the important user for the external purpose to defining that financial accounting. Then, my dear friends, the competitor of the companies are interested in its financial background to improve its own strategy, policy and system. So after that defining that particular financial, the competitor are also the keen role and they play an important role while defining their own policy, own strategy, own planning, own system, while defining what, my dear friends, your aspects. So ultimately there are the different users that use that information, that use that financial information, that financial accounting in a different way also. And in that the other way we can say you are the also the main user, I am also the main user, the academician, that the teacher, then the student, the researcher, the consumer, the stock exchange, the broker, underwriter, economist, press and public department, the governmental department, all these are users of other users of the financial accounting system, or we can say the financial accounting, or we can say the accounting. So this is what, my dear friends, the external side user, or this is only the deal with that of your financial accounting. If we are talking about the managerial purpose, or we can say the managerial accounting, then it's stratified that the internal users. So in internal user, the first is manager, owner and employees. So the owner includes what, my dear friends, the shareholder, partners, proprietary of the firms and the backbone of the business, and since the provide that what are the decisions making for the future. So it ultimate what's, my dear friend, to making the future decision, for making a particular decision for the whether in any aspect, any decision here possibility over the cost, also the controlling cost, reduction of the cost, or in any nature, the owner required that financial information, where the fund are acquired in a nature or not, the raising or not, for expansion, which type of funds are required and how much are required. So ultimately what, my dear friends, the owner is also an important user and the internal user for managerial purpose, or we can say the managerial accounting information. The owner is the internal user to defining that the financial accounting in a good way or not. Then the management, the accounting provide that the necessary information for the managerial decision maker, and thus, my dear friend, the management are considered in an internal user. Then the employees, the health of the industry relation between the employer and employee are the key to growth and accounting or the development of the firm. So we can say that the accounting information helps to settle the industrial dispute and to prevent the strike, likewise the situation arising and what are that particular bonus is also there, the higher commission or that, the increment of salary. So ultimately these all are depends on what, my dear friends, your financial accounting, or we can say that your accounting system play an important role. And your accounting is a clear and in systematically way, at that point of time these all users are important and they make the proper decision to invest in your company, yes or no. These are the questions arise that, and the answer is absolutely based on what, my dear friends, your accounting systems. So after delivering this, after defining this all aspect, you have to deal with your own knowledge to defining that what you learn from this particular video. So you have to deal with this three aspect, defining or creating that give that answer in a long question, short question and MCQ. The long question you have to define right and the detail note on needs of accounting, and second is origin and growth of accounting. In a short question aspect, define accounting and the user of accounting information. My dear friends, in user of accounting system, you have to define what? The internal as well as external users. If we deal with the third aspect of this particular video, that is a multiple choice question. The first question is the accounting can be called as what? The language of business, my dear friends. And second question is the work of the cost accountant is to control the cost of production, not a communication, not a development, not a purchasing. After dealing with this three aspect, what, my dear friends, the creating the defining that the long question, writing that the long question, short question and MCQ. If you want to read further, then you may refer these books for the further reading also. Hope you enjoy this particular session, this particular video of the basics of accounting. Thank you very much and enjoy your day.